Okay guys, culture means in this lecture I am going to discuss regarding the syllabus of culture. Okay, then culture means what? Is it the popular Hindi serial that we visit, that we watch every day? Uh, because I think in my viewpoint, no, at this moment, nothing is much better than a popular Hindi serial in portraying culture. Okay, no one can compete in case of portraying culture than popular Hindi serials. Am I right? आ, पहले क्या होता है, हम जब कल्चर देखता हूँ, कल्चर का सिलेबस देखता हूँ, तो हमारा दिमाग खराब हो जाता है कि हम क्या पढ़े क्या ना पढ़े, इसको कैसे कवर करें। मतलब ज़िंदगी के मतलब कल्चर के साथ हम परेशान हो गया हूँ। ठीक है, मतलब हमारा
तुझसे
लाइफ बिल्कुल परेशान है कल्चर
नाराज
के लिए।
नहीं जिंदगी हैरान हूँ मैं, ओ हैरान हूँ मैं, तेरे मासूम सवालों से परेशान हूँ मैं, हो परेशान हूँ मैं।
बात धीरे धीरे क्या हो जाता है, यदि हम अच्छे से कल्चर पढ़े तो क्या होता है, कल्चर के साथ हमारा जनरली प्यार हो जाता है। ठीक है, तो उसके बाद वहाँ पे हम देवदास एंड गौरी बन जाता हूँ। ठीक है, मतलब प्यार हो जाता है कल्चर के साथ, रोमांटिसिज्म आ जाता है कल्चर के साथ। तो एक टाइम पे ऐसा हो जाता है कि कल्चर के साथ हमारा एक अलग ही रिश्ते बन जाता है यूपीएससी के लिए। पर उसके लिए एक प्रॉपर तरीका हमको फॉलो करना चाहिए जनरली। Okay guys, now jokes apart, now I'm the culture. It is a very tremendous topic that in everywhere it is, whenever I see many UPSC students, I have seen that each and every UPSC students actually are very always thinks it as a burden. Okay, I don't know whether they think it as a burden, but they are always seem to be thoughtful regarding the syllabus of culture, what to read, what not to read. They actually roam from one shop to another shop. They are search for Nitin Singhania, okay, etc. and etc. But the thing is that the what is the actually culture, how to crack the syllabus of culture. If we know how to crack the syllabus of culture, or if we know from where to begin or what to read in culture and where to end, okay, then I think it is not a very difficult subject for us, for UPSC students. It is very easy because I think it is the most easiest and most familiar topic for UPSC students, because culture is what culture, we lead culture every day, in which we behave, in every day, what we eat or what we think, okay, our relation with society, our whole, all these things are actually controlled by a particular culture. That, and as if we are going to serve society and we are going to become an integrated part of our society, okay, then we have to know, we should know actually the preliminary beliefs, preliminary traditions of society. That's why culture bears an important immense value to the life of a civil servant. That's why culture, it is a very important and as well as a relevant topic for our syllabus. Now you see, in first cases, what we should read, what we should keep in mind when we read culture. In the first phase, when we begin from NCERT, I am addressing this lecture to the beginners of UPSC. Okay, then when we first read, when we suppose you are going to begin your preparation for UPSC, and you have today, you have bought the book, ancient book R.S. Sharma. Today you have bought the R.S. Sharma ancient book. Now it is not that you will read culture, in future. Okay, right from today, you buy the book, you have to begin the study of culture, because culture is an integrated part of our history. The whole history is not culture, okay, but culture is a part of the history. That's why if we know how to choose the culture, how to find out the culture in history, then we need not to worry about this thing. So, dear students, first thing you have to mind when you read Harappa, or when you read Mora, and when you read when you read Gupta period, Okay, when you read Chola, Chalukya, etc. and etc., then I'm going to give you some points and I'm going to give you mention some words, which always keep these words in front of you. Keep these words in mind. Okay, keep these words in mind in so way that whenever you read history, those words are always striking your mind, that and immediately you know that it is related to culture. In this way you have to you have to remember those words always in your mind while reading history. Then your culture syllabus then your culture syllabus will be finished within a very short duration of time. Now what are those words? First thing is the books. Books means what? What are the books or what are the particular literature related to medicine, related to tradition, related to kings? Okay, what are written during a particular dynasty? For example, in Harappa, while you are reading Harappa, you are reading Maurya, you are reading Gupta, you have to see what are the different and crucial and what are the prominent books written during the particular age. After that, you see coins. What are the coins issued by a particular dynasty, whether it is Chola, whether it is Charukya, whether it is Gupta, whether it is Maurya. Okay, then you have to mind this words. And after the inscription, what inscription has been issued by which king, which period, and why? After the particular tradition, what traditions are followed okay in a particular dynasty. After the writings of foreign ambassador, it is a very important. We know various different kind of ambassadors came right from the Megasthenes to medieval period. Okay, and what are the writings, what these foreign ambassadors actually mention in their writings. These are very important in the teenage of our culture. In that religious tradition, while you read Harappa, while you read Maurya, while you read Gupta, we have to see what are the religious traditions are followed by every dynasty. Okay. Then after the social beliefs, what are the beliefs of particular dynasty? Okay, for example, you see Vedic and pre-Vedic and post-Vedic, and pre-Gupta and post-Gupta period. In every period, there is a particular religious belief. Okay, Krishna is not worshipped by all the people in every dynasty equally. Vishnu is not worshipped by all the people of every dynasty equally. There is a particular period in which a particular god comes into prominence. It is called religious belief. While we read history, we have to see how the religious beliefs dominate society, control society. What are the particular religious beliefs prevalent in a particular time? Then we come to music. In that we have to see music, that what is there any particular music in any dynasty? What is there any music in Chola period? Is there any music in Chalukya? Is there any music in Gupta period? In that way, dance. Okay, in that behavior of people, how people behave towards the king, what is the relationship of different classes of people in a society. Okay, in this way, while we begin to read NCERT, you have to keep these minds always in your mind. And whenever you read any dynasty, whenever you read any chapter, your mind have to strike, those words have to strike your mind while reading the ancient or medieval history. Okay, I am repeating the words: books, coins, inscriptions, particular tradition, writings of foreign ambassador, religious tradition, social beliefs, music, dance, behavior of people. Then while you first read NCERT, you have to read culture in terms of these different terms. And now after that, you see in depth study, you have finished NCERT. Now how to develop the knowledge of culture, and now after finishing NCERT, how to study culture. Okay, in a complex way, how to study culture. You see, culture means what? Belief, worship and tradition. What we people believe, what we people worship, and what our tradition, what we follow in everyday life. Okay, it is the culture. It is the thing, and the culture, the syllabus of culture originates from this thing. Syllabus of culture originates from belief, worship and tradition, and the relation of all these three components with society. The syllabus of culture begins from these three things. Now you see how the culture of syllabus revolves around this belief, worship and tradition. You see, belief, worship, especially belief and worship. From belief and worship, what originates? You see, temple and mosque. temple and mosque, these two things which are integrated part of culture originates from belief and worship. Whenever people came into whenever right from the first person, it's the right from Manu to the this sorry, right from Adam and Eve to the modern day world, the people's life of every person is controlled by belief and worship. Okay, then what, whom we believe, how we worship those our gods. Okay, right from this moment temple and mosque originates. That is, temple and mosque are two important components of culture which originates from belief and worship. Then after this you see this belief, worship and tradition. We have seen that temple and mosque, these two parts, these two components are originated from belief, worship and tradition. Then after this, another most important components of this belief, this tradition, this worship are Buddhism, are you see in ancient you see how this belief, worship and tradition actually comes into the part of culture. We have crossed Buddhism and Jainism, we have crossed philosophy, and we have crossed Bhaktivad and Sufism. We have crossed Bhaktivad and Sufism in our NCERT book. Okay, now you see these things. Belief, I am emphasizing that belief, worship and tradition, these are the three parts, these are the three components around which the whole culture part actually revolves. For example, for belief, worship and tradition, we have seen that how temple and mosque came into the syllabus of culture. After that, you see, for the same belief, for the same worship and for the same tradition, what we have found, Buddhism and Jainism, Indian philosophy, Bhaktivad and Sufism, these come into the syllabus of culture. Okay, now we have learned that how belief, worship and tradition actually controls the culture of syllabus, and how for the for these components actually the different parts of our syllabus, different parts like temple, mosque, Buddhism, Jainism, philosophy, Bhaktivad and Sufism becomes important part of culture. And now see how we have to read this temple, mosque, Buddhism, Jainism, philosophy and Bhaktivad and Sufism. You see, temple, what temple comes into ancient history plus medieval history, mosque comes into medieval history. In that way, Buddhism and Jainism, you see ancient history, philosophy ancient history, now Bhaktivad and Sufism medieval history. Now you see how you can crack the syllabus of culture. Then while you read ancient history, what you have to give importance, you have to see that how temple was originated in ancient history, in which dynasty, in which era we have seen for the first time the evolvement of temple. Okay, then we have to see how Buddhism and Jainism came into prevalent, why it came, what is its important, what was its important on society, what is its important and what is its relevance and present society. Then we have to see philosophy, Indian philosophy in ancient history. What are the importance of philosophy? How philosophy came into India? What is its present relevance? India to in medieval history. When you read the medieval history, then we have to see that how at first we have to see in ancient India we saw temple. Okay, the temple originated in ancient India. Okay, now in medieval history we have to see how temple developed in medieval India. Okay, why temple developed in medieval India and how temple developed in medieval India. Then we have to see mosque, that how mosque came into India, why mosque developed into India. Then after that we have to see what are the relations between temple and mosque, what are the similarities and what are the differences between temple and mosque. Okay, now another thing we have to see that what are the foreign elements in this temple and in mosque in ancient India and medieval India. Okay, in that way, in case of Bhaktivad and Sufism, you see in medieval history you have to see that how Bhaktivad, like Buddhism and Jainism, we have to first see why Bhakti came into India, why Sufi came into India, what was its relation with society, what is its present relevance, how it dominated, how it controls the society. Then after that you can compare the Buddhism, Jainism and Bhaktivad and Sufism. You have to compare both these things. In this way, if we read this way, a great part, a very heavy part of our culture syllabus will be generally completed. So we have so till now we have seen that how belief, tradition and worship actually dominates the culture syllabus. Now we see besides our belief, besides our worshipping, there are some elements also which we require or which we need to lead our life in the world. Okay, that is it, and except belief, worship and tradition, another two things which actually dominate the culture is our entertainment and our creativity. So see, people need entertainment to live in the society. Okay, we need music, we need dance, okay, because these are for our entertainment. Okay, and these things are also intricate part of our culture. See, for entertainment what comes? Dance plus music. These two things comes for entertainment. Okay, and dance and music, how we have to read dance and music for culture in terms of ancient, medieval and modern. We have to see whether any kind of dance and music we have seen in Maurya period, Gupta period or thereafter. In this way, while we read every dynasty, we have to see that whether we have been able to trace out any kind of origin of dance, any kind of prevalence of music in our in that era. In this way, we from ancient to medieval, we have to see the evolvement of dance and music while reading NCERT. Whenever we find any key term regarding culture, regarding music, regarding dance, we have to mark that term and we have to include that term in the culture syllabus of culture. In that way, you see creativity. People are men are very creative person. Okay, people try to use always express their creativity. Okay, and for creativity what come? Writing means literature, painting plus sculpture and plus architecture. And how we have to cover all these things, literature, painting, sculpture and architecture, in terms of ancient, medieval and modern. We have to see that how in ancient period painting, sculpture, architecture began, how or how they developed, and how medieval, what are their condition or what are their status in medieval period, and what are the status of painting, sculpture, architecture in modern period. Okay, then now another thing is that the science is also more or less integrated with our culture. That is, while we read NCERT in especially in ancient, medieval, we have to always keep in view that whether what is the status of science. Okay, Sharak, Sushrut. Okay, in this way we have to whenever we see in any paragraph that we have found any line related to science and its relation to society, we have to mark that line. Okay, we have to mark that line because it is related with culture. How the people what is the relationship of society and science. Okay, whether any existence of science in any period, we have to keep this always in our mind. And if there is existence of science in any period, how it dominated their life, how it dominated the particular era, how it changed the relationship with society. Okay, we have to see all these things. Okay, so first thing, I am again repeating the whole syllabus, how to crack the culture. While we read NCERT, we have to keep in mind the different terms which I already mentioned. Okay, you have to, these terms have to be in front of you always, and whenever you read the NCERT book, these terms should immediately strike your mind. Okay, now see, beliefs, worship and tradition, these are intricate components of culture, and for these components actually different for these components of belief, worship and tradition, we have found temple, mosque, Buddhism, Jainism, philosophy, Bhaktivad and Sufism. And we have to see the origin, development, impact on society of all these temple, mosque, Buddhism, Jainism, philosophy, Bhaktivad and Sufism in terms of ancient and medieval history. Okay, Now after it, see, entertainment and creativity dominates culture. For entertainment we have found dance and music. For creativity we have found literature, painting, sculpture and architecture. Again we have to see the origin, development, evolvement, relation with society and present relevance of all these components in terms of ancient, medieval and modern India. This is the whole thing, this is the whole syllabus of culture which you have to cover. Okay, always remember that all these components, whether dance, music, entertainment and creativity, when you found, you have to always consider these cultural components in terms of three periods: ancient period, medieval period, modern period. That means while you read ancient history, you have to find out how these terms actually dominates the ancient India, how this term dominates medieval India, and how these terms dominates modern India. Okay, for brief analysis, I think it is enough. It will help you, and after this I will come to culture in terms of modern India, culture in how to read culture in Bipin Chandra history. I'll discuss in this thing in my next lecture. Then after that I'll gradually try to cover all these components like music, dance, literature in detail, how these actually components dominate the ancient, medieval and modern India.